Hey YouTube, what's going on? This is PokeTCG Gamer back with another video, and in today's video I'm going to be going over my Week 3 NPL Majors match, in which we're playing the Birb, a very good friend of mine, the coach of the Tampa Bay Frogadiers. So Birb is someone who I played not against, but he was also in the NPL Minors last season, and he obviously moved up to Majors along with myself and Monatui. We always wanted to play during the season. We didn't get to play during the regular season, and then playoffs turned out a little bit unfortunate. He got hacked in the semifinals, and I got a bit of hacks in the semifinals, and so we never got to play. So this is our chance to play. It's definitely very hyped to play him. He definitely has a very scary team. We are coming off our first win in the NPL Majors, very exciting, and hopefully we can continue on an upward trend of wins. So let's just get into the team that he could bring. So his draft consists of Zygarde 50%, which is a Z Pokemon. Definitely have to be aware of that. Tapu Bulu, Arcanine, Starmie, Mega Pinsir, Nihilego, Kartana, Rotom, Umbreon, and Smeargle. So you guys can see my team on the screen. I brought Thundurus, Azelf, Scizor, Powdon, Victini, and Jellicent. So the first issue I saw is when you look at my draft and you look at, I do have Earthquake, Resistances, and Immunities, but then you look at Thousand Arrows and you look at my team and I don't have a resist to Thousand Arrows, which is definitely a very big concern. So we definitely had to prep a little bit differently to try and play around that issue. But the first Pokemon I added to the team was this Thundurus set. It's a mixed attacking set with enough speed to outpace Kartana, with Thunderbolt, Hidden Power Ice, Fly, and Superpower. So if you look at his team, his flying resists are pretty subpar. He has Nihilego and Rotom, and that is it for his flying resists. So being able to click Z-Fly at some point in the game is definitely going to be very, very nice. Our other coverage, Superpower, hits something like Kartana, or not Kartana, Nihilego decently hard, as well as hits Umbreon super effectively. Hidden Power Ice hits his Zygarde 50%, not for an OHKO, but if he decided to hard switch it in, and he was like Yachi Berry, in most cases this investment allows me to hit a Zygarde with an HPS on a switch. If it's Yachi, I pop it, and then I kill it after with my investment. Thunderbolt, obviously, just for some general stab, hits things like Arcanine harder if it's defensive, which it could be because of my Victini. Hits Starmie, Mega Pinsir, without having to use a Z move, and that's pretty much it. I definitely considered a taunt set on this Thundurus, but didn't end up going with that. Instead, for our taunt user, we do have this Azelf with Stealth Rocks, Taunt, Magico, and Explosion. So pretty much this set is just a suicide lead. I'm going to lead off with this set. Get up my rocks. His removal for rocks is just Starmie, and I guess Kartana. And I don't think I'm forgetting anything else. Yeah, it's just those two. Obviously we have Jellicent at the end. It can spin block, and our Thundurus I'm pretty sure is rocking Defiant, so we can get a +2 attack if he decides to defog with Kartana. So pretty much Taunt and Magic Coat is Taunt just to like stop things like I could stop Nihilego from getting up hazards, I can stop Smeargle from getting up hazards, and Magico is kind of something to also stop Smeargle, but also scout for his own Magico as in the same at the same time. And Explosion is pretty much just to boom on something. I'm faster than this entire team outside of the Scarfer. Obviously I can't, if he brings in the Rotom, I can't touch it, but if that issue comes up we can deal with it during the game. Pretty much I felt the only Rotom set he would bring would be a possible Cobra one or a Scarf Rotom. Scarf Rotom definitely has a decent matchup as well as Cobra, so I thought those would be his two options there. Next up we have pretty much our win con with a interesting EVs. So we have max HP to maximize our bulk as much as we can. We have 96 attack, and I'm pretty sure this is to guarantee Oko a Nihilego without rocks up. Obviously, I expect me to have rocks up, but it's also I think at +2, I can 2-KO a no HP Zygarde with this investment with Bullet Punch, which is nice. The defense, I can't really remember what the defense is for. I knew that I didn't want to run this with the plus defense nature because I don't need to run Adamant. I don't need to run Jolly. I don't need to run plus Videf. Like, the things that scare me are his physical attackers, things like Zygarde, Tapu Bulu, and Mega Pinsir. Like, this is my primary Tapu Bulu answer. So, yeah, I just threw extra EVs into defense. Now, I do want to talk about something. I did only run 8 speed. Like, if you look at his team, like, I don't really need speed for anything. Like, I speed tie with Umbreon naturally, so I decided to throw in 8 into speed. Like, Bird, he could throw in like 16 speed, but I didn't. I felt that I could just run 8. And then after, I forgot the calc with why I had the 92 defense, but I know it was for something, and then I just threw the rest into my Spadef after I put an 8 into speed. So if he does run 16 speed Umbreon or like 12 speed Umbreon, obviously that could be an issue. But because if you look at our team, it doesn't deal with Umbreon the best. So yeah, I guess we will see how that turns out. So next up we have this Aboudon. With Slack Off, Whirlwind, Rock Slide, and Earthquake. Spread is pretty, not like standard, but like Rock Slide, the 12 attack investment allows me to always OHKO a Mega Pinsir after rocks, like after it takes rocks in its normal form, not Mega. I can always OHKO the Mega after it takes rocks with Rock Slide, if it has no bulk at all. The EVs, I just want max HP. The 88 Spadef along with the max HP allows me to not be 2-KO'd by Specs, Nihilego's HP Ice. And then obviously after that I just threw the rest into the defense with a plus defense nature. This is definitely going to help me with Zygarde and Mega Pinsir. And that's why it's here, leftovers for just residual recovery. Next up we have a Victini set designed to check a weakened Zygarde. Obviously, like, I outspeed Zygarde, even if it's at +1, but if it's not shipped down to like around 70%, I'm not going to be able to revenge kill it. So obviously that's going to be a pretty huge priority, but this is here to check a weakened Zygarde with Glaciate, and it honestly just like hits his team pretty hard with just Blue Flare and Psychic. It can surprise a defensive Arcanine, it can check a Scarf Bulu, it can surprise a Nihilego, check Mega Pinsir, outspeed Scarf Rotom, and yeah, I pretty much opted for U-turn over Trick just because like Trick is only nice for the Umbreon and U-turn gains me momentum, which I found a little bit more important, and that kind of gets into my last month. So I actually did not know what I wanted to go with the last month, but I knew that I wanted to guarantee my rocks up in this game, as it's very important with a lot of my calcs. So I wanted to bring a Spin Blocker just in case he decided to Bring Star me. Excuse me, not that I thought I had the best matchup, but he could opt to bring it, obviously, and I wanted to bring a Spin Blocker. So I decided with this Jellicent set. Now, if you look at his team, like, Jellicent as a defensive Pokemon, a special defensive Pokemon, like, it doesn't do anything to his, it doesn't wall, like, anything at all. It's actually set-up fodder. So we actually brought this Scarf set to be able to give me a little bit of utility and not just have it be like a Spin Blocker and that's all it can do. So it can surprise kill the Bulu, it outspeeds the entire team with the Scarf other than another choice Scarfer. And at the time of this battle he actually did have, actually I don't know why I've been saying Starmie, because at the time of this battle I totally forgot, guys, that he had Tentacruel. He had Tentacruel over Starmie for this battle, which is totally disappointing. Everything else he did have, but he did have Tentacruel. So Psychic was there for the Tentacruel to hit it decently hard, and then Trick allows us to cripple the Umbreon if we need to. So instead of just bringing this for just spin blocking, giving it a Scarf and Trick and these coverage moves gives me a little bit more utility with it. I can check a, I can surprise kill a Bulu if he brings that. I outspeed his whole team, and obviously I spin block and I could Trick and cripple things like the Umbreon. So that is my team, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I did decide that I'm most likely going to be combining the battle with the team builder for pretty much every battle. So that is the team builder, guys. I will not see you next time because now we're gonna cut to the battle. So I will be right back. And we're back, guys. So we have our match versus Birb. This is the replay, obviously. So actually, let me know down in the comments if you guys want to start seeing maybe a live com. I've actually never done one of those before, and I feel like it'd be cool for you guys to see my my thought processes as I'm going through the game. But pretty much, he brought a team consisting of Zygarde, Nihilego, Umbreon, Rotom, Kartana, and his Arcanine. So off the bat, I was a little happy not to see the Mega Pinsir, since my switch-ins aren't the best. Like, I'm pretty sure Pinsir gets Double Edge, and I know for a fact Hippowdon does not live a +2 Double Edge. And my only flying resist that I brought, or actually on my entire team, is Thunderous. So that was a bit concerning. But he did not bring that, which I do understand because like his ways of keeping off rocks aren't the best. So I do understand that. Looking at the team, though, I definitely expected a Dragon Dance Z. Either it could have been Z Ground, definitely Z Ground, or Z Dragon Dance Zygarde, Lead, Rocks, or not even Lead, but just the Nihilego is definitely going to be carrying Rocks. A defensive Umbreon, definitely. It helps versus the Thunderous. It can protect the Scout Z moves too, which is nice. Probably a Scarf Rotom, or like I said, it could be a Cobra Rotom, depending on if he's not confident in Thunderous being, or if he's not confident in Umbreon being his only check or counter to Thunderous. He could have run like a Cobra Rotom, maybe a Swords Dance or Scarf Kartana, and then mixed defensive or just defensive Arcanine to help deal with my Victini. So like I said in my team builder, I just want to lead off with Azelf. I want to get my rocks up. It looks like he doesn't have hazard removal. I doubt he'd bring Default Kartana in this matchup, but if he did, I can just always go hard Thunderous, I feel. So I'm just going to lead off with my Azelf. It gives me a good lead matchup versus his Nihilego, because I can taunt / Magic Coat. But he actually decides to lead off with his Rotom. So right off the bat, this allows me to see if this is Scarf or not. And you guys are going to see he throws off a Shadow Ball, so right off the bat he reveals that he is a Scarf Rotom. So I have to be aware of that because like Hippowdon is a good wall to it. But he could obviously burn me or he could just trick me. So I have to be aware of that, and I can utilize my two Scarfers in that sense, even though they're both weak to Shadow Ball. So I actually do preserve my Azelf right here because I know my Hippowdon can eat the hit. And I really want to double into my Azelf here, but obviously I couldn't because of the Sandstorm. So and the only reason I really brought Sandstorm was because it can negate things like Umbreon and Arcanine's leftovers, which obviously is pretty nice, I guess. So he goes hard into his Kartana. So I just Whirlwind, scouting what he wanted to go into as a Whirlwind, and I get his Umbreon, which isn't the best situation for me. But he's just gonna throw off a Toxic, I think. He might throw off a Foul Play, I actually forget. No, he throws off a Wish. So now he gets to go into something, and pretty much I was very much expecting the Arcanine, as you guys see, that's what comes in. My best play is to just U-turn, as he gets the Intimidate, but like, it's obviously not gonna matter. He's just gonna go back up to full, as he reveals the Rocky Helmet, and I actually, I miscalced something, and I'd calc the U-turn damage, and I was like, oh, this Arcanine has no bulk at all, and I can just quick Z-Fly and get a kill. So that's actually what I decided to do here, as he gets back up to full. But you guys are going to see, I do click the Z-Fly, and it actually does not kill. So I did miscalc something, definitely, and that miscalc was I calced Arcanine versus Thunderous, and it said Supersonic Sky Strike killed, but that is because I had Defiant and Intimidate on. So the Defiant, because I had that, it the calc made Thunderous like +1 attack, or excuse me, +1 attack. So the calc said that killed, but obviously I was wrong. So now Sandstorm's gonna end, and he's gonna be at a range where he's outside of rocks. I mean, if he had leftovers, he would have been out of range, but he does not. So either way, I thought he'd sack his Thunder, or he'd sack his Arcanine there. And he didn't have E-Speed, which was also interesting, but he might have had like double status with a Fire move and Morning Sun, which I did see in a mock. So my Thundurus is now at half without a Z move. But I can hit something pretty hard is if he doesn't go onto his Rotom. Obviously, he goes on his Nihilego, so I think I just go into my Azelf, or no, I go into my Scizor, predicting the rocks. I could have went to Azelf, but a Boom wouldn't really do much in that situation. That actually would just allow him to get up a T-Spike if he had that, or just go into his Rotom. And it wouldn't do a ton to the Nihilego anyway, so now I have Azelf as a sack to rocks, and now I can just fire off a Bullet Punch as the Rotom comes in. I think I fire off a Bullet Punch, yeah. So now, I think I just Roost here, scouting if he wanted to Trick. Because if he tricked, I was actually fine in this situation having a Scarf Scizor. So, he just keeps Shadow Ball. As you guys can see, the roll was about 38 to 45, as he just pretty much got him in max. So I just Swords Dance up here, and now I know that 2 Bullet Punches guarantees kills right now, so I just want to get up to a good, I pretty much want to get up to full before I click Bullet Punch twice. I don't want to get greedy into Swords Dance up to +6 because I know that crits and Spadef drops could happen. So I was almost at full, so I decided, you know what, I'm not going to risk a Spadef drop now. I'm just going to Bullet Punch. I'm at a decent amount of range where I can still come in on the Kartana. It's not Z move, and I can, if it's not Scarf, then I have ways to check it with Victini, as long as it's not Timid. So he goes into his Zygarde, and I knew right here the only way he can kill me, Banded had a low chance to kill me, I'm pretty sure. But the only way he could kill me outside of that, like guaranteed, is with a Z ground move. So I decided to sack off my Azelf here, as he does waste a Z ground move right here, as you guys are going to see. Which is very, very nice. Glad that I had that Azelf to sack off. Like, obviously, I'm pretty sure Birb, he knew I was probably going to go into Azelf, but he didn't want to take that risk. Scizor's still a very big threat to his team, so if he could get rid of that, that would have been very nice for him. So right here, I go into my Powdon, as I know I can take any 2 hits. Right now, he's not boosted. As he does go for Dragon Dance, I just go for Earthquake, and I think I just, I don't know if I Whirlwind immediately. I see 1,000 arrows. You guys are gonna see now. I do slack off, so now I'm at full, and now I could freely Whirlwind. If he wants to set up again, he's gonna be gone. So now I do just Whirlwind, and his Zygarde is now at a range where my Victini guarantee kills it, unless, or it's not even Yachi Bear, so I just guarantee kill it, unless he has a wad of Spadef and HP. So I get his Umbreon as he just foul plays, and I think I just Earthquake, and now I know that I have a good opportunity to keep his Umbreon low, so I just slack off here, and now I can just click Whirlwind, which guarantees keeps this Umbreon below 50 after rocks, which is super nice for me. But I do have the chance of getting Kartana, which is always a risk, and I do actually get the Kartana. So right here, my Powdon is still nice for the Nihilego and the Zygarde. So I don't want to sack it off like for a Suicidal Whirlwind or a Suicidal Earthquake. So I think I just go hard into my, or no, I actually do stay in sacking it off. But after I slack off, I do realize that I should probably save this, because Jellicent is doing nothing at this point other than possibly tricking the Umbreon. So I'm just gonna slack off, as now I sack my Jellicent. So he never really got to see what it was. Obviously, if you guys saw my team builder, it was Scarf. It might have been nice to keep it just to be able to trick the Umbreon if I needed it later, but it didn't really come into play. So I go into Victini, and I very badly wanted to click. What's it called? Psychic there, because I knew he wouldn't go hard into his Zygarde. I knew he wouldn't go hard into his Umbreon because it's so low. And I was almost positive he was going to stay in, but I do end up clicking Blue Flare, and you guys are going to see it only does 19 to the rock. So now I have to switch out, go into my power on, get the sand back up, I guess, and I eat up this power gem. Now this was a turn that I thought about for a long time. I wanted to make a switch. I didn't want to stay in because I knew that he could have grass knot. I want to make a switch that if he doubled into Kartana, I was in a good spot. If he stayed in grass knot, I was a good spot. I definitely considered Victini, but it's already taken rocks, it'd be taking Sandstorm and a grass knot, and it'd be very low, to the point where I'm not even sure if it could switch into rocks again. So I did calcs, and I knew he wasn't Life Orb, and I was almost positive he was probably Sash. And I did some calcs, and a non-boosting item, Nihilego, even if he was Expert Belt, Grass Knot isn't super effective against Thunderous. Obviously, it's resisted. I can go into Thunderous, I can live rocks, a Grass Knot, and a turn of sand damage. So that is actually what I do here. I go into my Thunderous, I'm at 26, the Grass Knot does 17, that was actually a low roll. The roll was 17 to 20, if he got the max roll, then I would have died to sand, but if he got a 17 to 19 roll, I would have lived from 3 to 1%. So now I get to fire off another hit before I die. Obviously, I could fire off an HP Ice predicting the Zygarde, but I actually just fire off a superpower because I felt like that would be the best play, hitting this and the other two super effective. As he does go into his Zygarde, so now my Thunderous is going to die to sand, and now I have another decision to make. If I go, this is my thought process here. If I go into Powdon, that just lets the Kartana come in. I don't want that. If I go into the Victini, I have to click Glaciate, which I really don't want because that gives the Lego a switch in. That gives Umbreon a wish. That even gives Kartana a switch. So I went into Scizor here, and or no. Okay, I actually did go into Powdon. It's a few turns down the line that I make the Scizor play. So there's an Earthquake here, and now I thought I was in a position where I could sack my Hippowdon off, as I just Earthquake now, and he just revealed the Salac Berry. So this is obviously very threatening, because now he outspeeds my Victini. I felt I could sack on my opponent at this point. I didn't really need it, as Scizor can deal with the Zygarde well enough and can bullet punch the Nihilego, and that's the only two things Hippowdon is here for. So I sack it off, and he is at 12% with the Salac Berry. Obviously, I can't go into Victini anymore to check it, so now I have to go into Scizor, and the roll, if he is no bulk with my 92 attack investment, is 13 to 16, so he has to have a lot of bulk to live this bullet punch. So I'm just going to click bullet punch here, and now I felt like I was in a good spot, because he brings in his Zygarde here, and I know he can't do a lot to me without an unboosted 1000 arrows, so I just click Roost here. But actually, I click Swords Dance here. Roost in hindsight is 2020, but Roost was definitely, I think, was probably a better play. Because if his Umbreon was faster than me, if he was running that 16 speed I talked about in my team builder, then if I was +2, then Foul Play would just kill me, or do a lot to me. So Roost is probably my best play here. But you guys are going to see, I knew that if I Swords Dance and I outsped his Umbreon, I won the game. You guys are going to see right here, I thought he 1000 arrows, it only does 35. As I Swords Dance, and I know I'm out of range of an E-speed, so I just bullet punch here. Scizor picks up its second kill. So pretty much now, I'm at 29%, and he brings in his Umbreon. So I thought one of two things here. I thought, one, he could outspeed me and kill me and I just lose the game. Or two, he's trying to bait me to U-turn as he goes into Nihilego. But at that point, I calced, and a U-turn from a +2 U-turn from Scizor into a minus attack U-turn from Victini killed Nihilego after rocks. So that this was not a play. So I knew that his Umbreon could possibly outspeed me here, but I don't have another play. Bullet Punch does not kill him, so I have to click U-turn, and he outspeeds me. So he tells me in the chat that he is running 16 speed. Obviously, I went through mocks with a bunch of people, and really, I sent my team to people too, and really, like, running like 20 speed on my scissor never really came up. Like, I knew Birb could, like, I really thought that he was just gonna like throw 8 speed into his Umbreon, but like, obviously it was a bit of a mind game of how much speed he was gonna throw in. Like, I could have thrown in 20, but what if he just threw in like 24? Like, what if he could have ran like 56 speed, like if he maximized his like HP and defense or something? So really, like, I don't consider this a misprep in my opinion. I could have won if I had 20 speed, but if he had 24, I could have still lost. Like, it's just a matter of opinion. But if I did Roost versus the Zygarde, maybe it could have been different. I'm not really too sure. So I just go into my Victini, and at this point I know it's going to be a 2-0 or a 1-0. I'm just going to Blue Flare, and it does 38 as I burn him. And Birb right here, he could have went out to his Nihilego trying to preserve differential. Or he could have actually wished there and preserved the 2-0, but he's a nice guy. Lets me get that nice 1-0 loss. As if he actually went to Nihilego there, that would have been a misplay because a crit Blue Flare. If I just got one crit Blue Flare, I would have killed it and then I would have won. But no, even a crit Blue Flare will not kill from here. And yeah, so his Nihilego kills my Victini, and that is the game. So one hell of a game to Birb. Wins with a 23% Nihilego, just a very close game. I couldn't have expected more out of my first match versus Birb. Very, very happy with the result. Even though we lost, we're now 1-2, but we still have a +2 differential. So next week we're playing Blake, coach of the actually I'm blanking right now on the teammate, the Baltimore Ravens. So he's Moxie for an Business YouTube channel. Obviously, I have all the links to the Majors coaches and Minors coaches in the description. So yeah, definitely go check out Birb as well as all the other coaches. And yeah, guys, disappointing week. Definitely, like I said, it was tough thinking about if I just ran 12 more speed on my scissor after the game. But people like Maddie and Gypsy, great people. I talked to them, and obviously, like it's tough. I have to get past it and move on to next week. So yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to hit that like button down below, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.